Yield: Fall of Rome is the latest in a series of fast-paced, board game-inspired strategy games intended to be played in short sessions of about an hour. In this case, the game puts the player in charge of one of the various tribes, kingdoms, and factions on the periphery of the Western Roman Empire circa the 5th century. The goal is to claim as much power from the dying empire as possible before Rome's other rivals beat you to it. Each of the game's 8 groups has a campaign divided into a series of short missions, each lasting for 50 rounds, which will take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours to finish. There is some sense of continuity across each campaign as the game keeps track of the player's relations with the other groups. The gameplay and design bear some superficial similarities to the recent Civilization games, but the mechanics have been significantly simplified to lend themselves to the tabletop feel. All actions are instant. The player accrues resources, then uses them to upgrade tiles, construct buildings, recruit units, and research technologies without any delay. This is the most profound difference between Yield and other strategy games and is likely to be the part that requires the most adjustment. For example, aggressively improving the terrain, generally a winning early game strategy in other titles, isn't necessarily the best play here. Each map has a specific objective which, if met, will reward an immediate victory to the player. If you can't achieve that objective, then the win is awarded to whichever faction has the highest score, which is based on various factors including population, army size, and improvements. Ideally, you'll achieve a fast victory, but objectives are often placed in such a way that the players can't reach them easily and will end up in conflict with their neighbors. Now, despite playing as groups that the Romans saw as barbarians, conquest isn't strictly necessary. In the short run, it's fairly easy to maintain good relations with other factions, including Rome, a large, neutral faction that starts each map with multiple cities but doesn't expand after that. The player has the choice of dealing with Rome through invasion or through assimilation and trade, though a war is pretty much a foregone conclusion in the long term. The mechanics for Yield are all straightforward and won't take too long to figure out, but the interface is more of a weak spot. The in-game tutorial explains the basics, but some unit actions aren't all that intuitive, and switching selection between units and tiles is a little clunky. These aren't game-breaking problems, but they are things that the player will need to get used to. Overall, Yield is a decent strategy game that might have special interest for fans of classical history, but it doesn't rock the boat very much.